All right, here we go on a Saturday morning, and here in the Boston area, it is 8:30, and I'm like, this is kind of early, but then I quickly remembered I've been interviewing for the past 2 weeks amazing presenters from Utah, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's 6:30. So I want to commend our two guests coming on today. We have our first one coming on very shortly because they got up bright and early to share their work with you. I'm extremely excited to have our next guest come in and talk about her session. She is a busy presenter in this presentations, as well as being one of the new Utah CTE Teachers of the Year, 21 Utah Teacher of the Year runner-up. I'm really excited to have Emma Moss join us all the way from Utah. Hey, Emma, how are you?
Good morning. It's great to be here. Doing well. Like you said, it's a
Awesome.
little early, but
A little early. Whereabouts in Utah you zooming in from?
so I teach in the Sandy area, so it's just south of Salt Lake, about 20 minutes, not too far, and really close to where USET will be held this year. So
Wonderful. Awesome. And for those who don't know your work, share a little bit about what you're doing now as the DLT specialist and the role that got you there.
perfect. Yeah. So right now I am a digital teaching and learning specialist in Canyon School District. And this is my first year in this position, but I didn't actually want to start out as a teacher. I was a neuroscience major and decided to take a teaching class because I thought it was interesting and absolutely loved it. Like the first day I sat there and I was like, this is me. You're talking about me. And like never looked back from there. Taught in the classroom for 7, 8 years. I don't remember, but um, and then this position opened up and I really wanted to make a difference on a larger system scale. I've seen some of the things that happen in education and I was like, I want to go make a larger difference. So stepped out of the classroom um, and just have loved getting the chance to collaborate and connect with people and be able to make some of those system differences that I was hoping to do.
So what's something that's exciting in your role? You said you wanted to step out, you wanted to make a difference. Like what's something when you're like, oh, this is really exciting place or exciting part of the role? What would that be?
Yeah, so right now, part of my job is I am the AI project lead for our district. So
Oh,
I
wow, that's
am
exciting.
chairing AI. Yeah, it's really cool. I also run a statewide collaborative. So for Utah, so I get to connect with all the early on in the year, I was like, we really need to talk about this as districts, like together,
Mhm.
figure out what's going on. How are we embracing AI? What are the challenges we're facing? How are we helping our teachers like prepare for this that's coming? And so I started like gathering people and was like, we need to meet, we need to meet. So that started in November and we started with just 7 of us. And now
Okay.
our meeting coming up in a couple of weeks that we actually have a meetup at USET, which will be really fun. But we have almost, I think the last time I counted, 24 districts or LEAs from across the state. So started small, getting bigger, but love that collaboration, like coming together and getting to talk and
Okay.
be able to like see what's happening in all the districts and support each other, which is awesome. So like in terms of systems, like I get to influence that system inside of my district. I have a great team that helps there, and then also like on a statewide level, bring people together to talk and have conversations and talk about what we're doing to try and help support students.
Awesome. So from talking to you before we came on, you're a veteran of the event. And for a newcomer like myself, or other new individuals coming to the event for the first time, what can they expect? What's the event like?
So great, that's a great thing. So it's 2 days. You come together, and there's a lot of sessions. So they'll always start out with a keynote. They bring in like a fabulous presenters, come in and talk. Um, those people provide like an inspirational message, or they have really cool tools that they're doing. And then there's tons of sessions. So if you haven't looked at the schedule yet, there is a lot of sessions on different topics. So they have like AI as a strand. They have like ones for library media specialists. They have ones
Hmm.
on digital citizenship. So you can either like pick a topic and stick with it all day, or you can pick and choose where you want to be. And it's a really fun environment. Like lots of people are talking. They usually have like a goose chase that happens. So that's like an
Oh,
digital
fun.
scavenger hunt. There's tons of vendors. So it really is a place to see like what's coming in educational technology with those vendors,
Okay.
as well as like the practical application, like how are educators in our state using this. And then it's just like super fun and collaborative. Like some of my favorite memories from like just in terms of the educational technology community is from USET, like getting to do fun things or goose chase tasks or connecting with people I haven't seen in a while. But just like put yourself out there, try new things, and like explore the sessions that you're interested in.
Awesome. And if you want to connect with Emma at the event, make sure to check out at Tweet Miss Moss, and you'll get to see all the great things that she's doing. And she talked about connecting with individuals. Are you going to have time to connect? I looked at your schedule, and what's first of all the impressive part. This is her first start on Tuesday, and I was like, "How do you have 6 sessions?" But the impressive thing is she pre-recorded 5 sessions for all of our virtual guests, and then will be facilitating the Google Gourmet game. So talk a little about that just chunk of work that you did for this session, this event before we dive into the other sessions.
That sounds great. So beforehand, I actually have one more that I still have to record,
Oh
but
boy.
I got a couple of days, so they're okay. But
Okay, perfect.
those I planned out, and this like those are ones that I really wanted to make sure that both people had access to, and I think fit a broader audience. Like you said, we have
Okay.
virtual participants, so those ones I had to sit down and kind of plan out like what am I going to do? What does this topic look like? I had to pre-record those sessions and then upload them so that they're ready to go for USET. I feel like when I submitted presentations, I really wanted to have like a variety of things because that's what I love about USET. I also, you'll see on several of these, I'm collaborating with other people. So like the one in orange there, that's like my first live session at USET, the Google Gourmet Games. I
Yep.
get to do with my friend Kelly and Casey. They're both over in Jordan School District, and they
Awesome.
are phenomenal educators. And so getting to work with them and collaborate, that one's going to be really fun. It's like a game show, and we have educators from around the state that are pre-recording Google tasks, and then we're gonna have like a bake-off, but they're gonna
Oh,
show what they
awesome.
did, and it's gonna be so cool. So I know the slides are like design is like my favorite, and Kelly set up this Google form, and Casey made this. Cause you got this video that is like beautiful. It has like bake-off themes in it, and it like counts down. It's really fun. So that one's gonna be a great session, but it's fun. You mentioned like I don't get a lot of time to connect. I'm going to be bouncing between sessions, but come to my sessions. I love to see you, but I also get to connect with people I present with, which is really fun.
Oh, that's great. And of course the participants. And then that was just the first part of your Tuesday. And then the rest of your dance card for Tuesday is quite full as well. And we have 4 different sessions here, 3 different colors. So they're touching on a couple of different areas of education. Share a little bit
Right.
for individuals looking through Sketch, and there's so many sessions, what you're going to bring to these 4.
Great question. So the AI Ignite I'm starting out with is 15 minutes, and it talks about how I got started with AI and kind of my journey, and connects all of these references to Taylor Swift. I'm not going to lie,
Oh,
that's probably
that's
the one I've
awesome.
had the most fun building. And then I have one about an engagement strategy. So the teacher I'm presenting with, she used to be across the hall with me, and we're going to go
Okay.
through 20 different engagement strategies that apply across all our different students and how that can increase engagement in your classroom. There's going to be like movement ones and technology ones, and some ones that I had never seen before when I like worked with her. There's going to be some ones that are very hands-on, and so it's going to be a really interactive session. The 60 tools in 60 minutes with AI tools. My team member and I from my AI team and my district are doing that one. And that one has like a lot of tools. It's going to be super fast paced. It's going to be like so quick. We have, like I said, 60 and 60s. We have to introduce ourselves and then go through the tools. So, but if you're like, I don't know what's out there, that one will be good for you. And then the last one that day is about setting your vision. So it talks about how we set up our AI framework for our district and the document we have for that and kind of the process to help other districts go through that. And
Oh,
I noticed that you pulled up part of day 2.
yes.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm gonna try to go a little bit faster, but
No, you're good. We want to
edtech
hear
book
all about it.
the edtech book tasting I'm doing with the Google Educator group that I'm a part of. So Kelly and Julie, Deanna's also helping, but I think they only have 3 names that show up. So we're talking about different edtech books that are out there, and then I have my Canvas new quizzes. So there's a teammate I have that is excellent about assessments. So we're going to talk about some principles of assessments. That one's going to be 30 minutes. So it's going to be fast and a lot more like, here's some tips and tricks. After that, let's see, I'm gonna put that screenshot back up. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
which one is next? Oh yeah. We have the open discussion. So that's for anyone who's interested in coming and connecting. We talked about that state group. And then the leveraging through AI prompt strategies. I'm working with my teammate. He actually shares an office with me at work. And he and I have this really awesome presentation based on, it's like a research-based prompt strategy. So it's gonna be awesome, especially if you're connecting virtually. That one's available virtually, so you can connect. It's a live, so I'll be doing a live presentation online. And then the last one is our 60 and 60 for Google tools. So kind of like AI, but we have different categories like creativity, accessibility, and collaboration. Gonna try and show you some things beyond just the standard like Google Sheets, but maybe look at some things that are more in depth. Like I know I'm showing one that comes from Google Labs with their AI experiments, and so there'll be some really cool, neat things if you that you maybe haven't heard of with Google that are happening in that session.
Wow, that's so impressive. And to see all of this in action, make sure to check out Twitter handle or X handle. And again, the schedule quickly, you'll take that off to see all of these great things. Some pre-recorded sessions, 10:15, there's a live session, and throughout the day. And I think I had the wrong one up initially because there's so many that you do in your cruising through the 2 days. So I guess my next question is, when you have some time, you talked about collaborating, and how do you learn all of these skills to share with all of the participants? Where do you go for your learning?
Oh, that's a good question. I first want to start out and just say, like, sometimes I think with presentations, people feel like you have to know everything. But what I've learned over the time I've been in education is that nobody really knows everything. And really, it's about sharing what you're excited about and passionate about and
Mhm.
being willing to be vulnerable. So, like, there are things like for AI, like, I know a lot about that. So, we probably saw that theme a little bit more. And I know a lot about engagement, but I also found the people that know about it. So, that math teacher
That's
is
huge.
so good. And so I think it's finding people that know about what like whatever that topic is and being willing to say like what can I take from them. A great piece of advice I got once is to try and find, they called it the golden nugget in every place that you go. And
That's great.
so I got that from a presentation actually at USET, like I think my second year. And
Mhm.
so that's where I go, is like whatever I'm interacting with, whatever I'm seeing, I try to find that golden nugget. And I have a Google Doc that has just like the one thing that I pull from wherever I'm at. Like this, like yesterday, I saw a teacher present, and they had what was called a pie chart poem. I have never seen this in my life, but they had a pie chart and they broke off the sections and then they just had a label. They didn't label the sections, but it would have like half of it, and then it was cut. The second half was cut in half, and then the label said like dishes, essays, sleep. And so,
Right.
but it didn't have the sections labeled. And so they had all of these teachers they were working with do this pie chart poem and kind of reflect like on how their year had been. And I was like, I've never seen that. What a cool way to like reflect and have build conversation and community. And so that was what I took from them yesterday. And so in terms of like where I learned stuff from, I don't know that it's a specific place, but I think I really believe that everybody has something to bring to the table. And so it's what can I learn with those that I'm interacting with every day or all the
Awesome.
time. And so,
Well, that's great. And a lot of what you talk about is really the theme of this podcast and bringing people together and learning from so many great individuals. And when I share the phrase stronger together to you, what does that mean to you in your role in your work?
so I was kind of thinking about this because I actually watched the episode you did earlier with Kayla.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, what am I doing here? But um,
How'd she do with her
for
answer?
she was good. I liked
All
her
right.
answer. I really enjoyed it. I've known Kayla for a long time, so it's kind of fun to get to see her
Okay.
in this space. But I feel like for me, stronger together really means that I kind of alluded to it just a second ago, but that everyone brings something to the table, and that if you can recognize that like everyone that you're working with is there and has something to give and has something to connect with, like you become a better person and a better educator, honestly, when you have a chance to reflect and connect with others. And so, like for me, I know my first experience at USET, I came as a first year teacher, which is kind of unheard of from what I've gathered.
Oh,
Not a
really?
lot of first year teachers go, but I just remember being like, this is the community I want to be a part of. that's willing to come together, even on topics that are hard. Like, I remember the big thing then was like, what are we going to do with one-to-one devices? And then it was, how are we doing this in COVID? And now it's,
Right.
what are we doing with AI? But like some of these things that we may not agree on, or but being willing to be vulnerable and realizing that as we do that and as we work through differences or as we find common connections, that we become better people because of those interactions. And so I don't know, I just don't think that, and education is really good at this, but I just don't think that myself, even like, I am not an island. Like, the way I
Right.
am today is because I had so many people behind me, whether that was people at USET or people I worked with. And so it really is those individuals with their individual stories that make us better.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for getting up early. Thank you for sharing your work, and for all the participants out there. Thank you for everything you're doing for the event. For sure, make sure to follow
Yeah.
her here at her Twitter handle. Emma will be there for the whole 2 days, packed. But make sure to see her, and I hope our paths cross. Make sure we get a chance to say hi in person there in Salt Lake City in just under 2 weeks.
It's going to
So
be great. We'd
actually, like
love to see you
a
there.
week from tomorrow.
A week
I
and a half.
fly out.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
getting close.
right, right. Because there's a pre-event for tech and learning and different things. But
Mhm.
awesome. So Emma, thanks for getting up. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday, and we look forward to seeing you in Salt Lake City.
Wonderful. Excited to connect. Thank you.
You're welcome. And for those out there who continue to tune in, we still have many interviews coming up with so many impactful presenters. Keep tuning in and keep supporting their work. And remember, we always are putting we over me in a stronger together community.